Hello and welcome back to the PlayVS VHSL Fall 2022 Championship. We have seen a ton of fantastic action today. We've seen League of Legends, we've seen Super Smash Bros., and we saw the quarters and the semifinals of Rocket League, and it all has culminated and led up to this, the finals for Rocket League. I, of course, am joined by Jalen on my right and Nikita on my left. Thank you both for being here. It is an absolute pleasure to be here on the desk with you guys. And in the finals, we've got Osborne Park versus Woodson High. And we've seen a lot of great things out of both of these teams. So I'm pretty excited, if I do say so myself, about this finals. Osborne Park, the number 1 seed. Woodson, not quite the number 1 seed, but still, we've seen some really great things out of them. They 4-0'd, both of the teams 4-0'd in their semifinals games. Just looking really, really strong overall.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it at the introduction. It's all about storylines, right? Yeah. And there's no better storyline than the fall finals of the final game that we're having here. After starting, so many hours ago? 7 hours probably at this point. It's a long day, and we're finally going to have the finals.
Yeah, Woodson actually the 18th seed. I just had to look it up. Wow, that's so... Who knew finals would be the 1st seed versus the 18th seed? It's all about storyline, you know? So a lot of great things out of both of these teams. It will be interesting. I think so far in this tournament, Osborne Park hasn't really faced a lot of adversity in their games. William Byrd was giving them a little bit of a run for their money earlier, but after they turned up, after they started going, Osborne Park was just unstoppable ever since then, just kind of running through all of their games. But I will say, that momentum may have cooled down a little bit as we have had a little bit of time since the semis and now getting into the finals. So maybe that momentum has reset a little bit, and Osborne Park needs a little bit of a kick to get back into the game. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what's going on. 1 versus 18, you would have never thought that this would have happened, right? So, Osborne Park is in a pretty good position. They've got to be like, we're the number 1 seed for a reason. There's a reason we're here. And then, while Woodson must be like, oh, my goodness.
We made it.
Second at this point, yeah. So, it just depends on who's hungrier, right? Osborne Park was off to a little shaky start, lost the first 2 games that they came here, and played, but definitely picked it back up just like that, right? They were like, oh, shoot, locked in, and now they're all the way up at the finals, right? And it must be like, sorry to bring Smash in it, but it must be like fighting MKLeo, right? If Woodson wants to win, they've probably got to go in, guns blazing, have, the game plan, and just 4-0, right? It's going to be hard to beat Osborne if you let them play slow and adapt, right?
Yeah, you can't let them breathe. And I do like talking about the pacing of the game, right? Osborne Park, such an aggressive team. They play really fast. They play aggressively. They want to score goals. They want to just keep going at you over and over and over again. So it'll be interesting to see how Woodson can adapt to this tempo, or if they make their own tempo and force Osborne Park to play to their tune. So yeah, I think a lot of fun things coming up here, and I can't wait. It looks like the players are working their way into the lobby, so we still have a little bit of time. Anything that you guys are in particular looking to see here from this matchup?
I think it's going to be these first 2 games.
The first 2 games.
That's been the storyline all day. How did these first 2 games go, and what's going to happen after that? Because we mentioned that Osborne had a bit of a rocky start, right?
Yep.
And then after that start, they've won 8 straight games. There's been 0 competition afterwards. And kind of a similar story for Woodson, too. They also had the 4-0 in semis, right?
Yep.
So we're seeing 2 teams come off of the strongest you can come off of a match. You just come in, win 4 games, walk out, and then see you in grand finals, right? So it'll be interesting to see who controls the tempo. We've traditionally seen Osborne kind of play it by ear for the first game. And if we score, okay, cool, we have the lead now, we're not going to lose it. But oh, we can lose a match. Oh, we can lose 2 games. It's fine. We'll still adjust. We'll bounce back. So I think that's what I'm the most interested in. What's going to happen in this first game? Who's going to come out shooting? And is it going to be high scoring? Is it going to be low scoring?
Yeah.
Because we've seen a little bit of variance there where we've had kind of a defensive battle for the first game, and then for the next match, it's like 5-4 or something like that. So that's the direction that I'm looking in.
I'm really interested to see how these teams will capitalize on the mistakes. I mean, throughout the day, we've already seen a couple of communication errors as well as some, double commits, even a couple of triple commits as well. So how will their opponents see those opportunities, and how will they capitalize on those opportunities? And I think we've seen both of these teams really hone in on their opponents and capitalize when, for Woodson, it's Tallwood making a mistake and them jumping on that, or for Osborne, just, William and Bird, just anything, seeing an opening and taking it. And I really think that will show who is the better team and who can really adapt better and capitalize on the mistakes of their opponents as well.
I'm really excited to see how just Woodson plays and interacts with Osborne.
Yeah.
Being the 18th seed and now you're guaranteed second, you've gone through a lot of upsets to get to this point, this land point. You weren't even you weren't even seeded to be at this event.
Exactly.
Right? So, it's really cool to see, this team that wasn't even projected to be here today, like just come and just tear through semis, right? And now they're facing the number 1 seed, and, they've 4-0'd, teams that are way higher seed than themselves. So that's going to be really interesting to see how they, adapt, how they, go about their game plan.
I think, Bear said it earlier in the day. Does seeding even matter at this point? Like, we do have seeding for a reason, right? But I feel like we've seen so many upsets. A lot of these teams that have made it here are kind of out of nowhere, right? I mean, Freedom High was 10th seed in Super Smash Brothers, which is kind of crazy to me. But we did just see them, take that. John Champ, the number 1 seed, they did make it there. So maybe we do see an upset. Maybe we do see something a little bit different happening here. And that maybe, yes, seeding is there, but maybe we throw it out the window. Maybe it doesn't matter at this point because we know that Woodson has proven themselves enough to make it to this point.
Yeah, I mean, looking at seeding, looking at the day, I mean, you could just Freedom could be a case study for every single game they competed in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have the League of Legends team is 10th seed as well, and then they are the number 1 in the state, right?
Yep.
They win it all. The exact same thing could be said for the Smash. Rising through all that adversity, they have all this LAN experience. They were here last year. Both teams for Smash were here last year.
Yep.
So maybe it is just the experience, how you thrive off of the LAN is really what's driving all of this performance today. And both of these teams has had 2 different matches they were able to play in LAN environments, and they both thrived.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see the absolute peak, maybe not the peak on paper, but the peak today for sure, and their performance shows it matching up. I will say, being the title match for the last game at a LAN tournament is rough, right?
Yes.
Because League of Legends has a benefit. You show up, you play the finals, and then you walk out.
And then you're good, yeah.
Smash had the semis running pretty close up to the finals, so they might have only had like a 30-minute to an hour break. The Rocket League teams have been sitting down practicing for hours at this point.
Yes.
They've been here at 8 a.m. So it's really going to be about the ability to stay focused. It's another 7-game set.
Yeah.
So
that's what's crazy to me is the best of 7s. They've been doing best of 7s all day long.
Yeah, nothing even scales. It's not like Smash where it's BO3s and then scales to the best of 5. They've been playing the long form all day, and they have to keep playing that long form and just finish out strong.
Yeah.
We're talking about how it has adversity, right? Don't feel pressured after losing that first match or the second match. They have to just make sure they don't tire themselves out. There's been thinking lapses when they've been energized and not tired, and now you have 8 hours of gameplay throughout the day, 8 hours of waiting, sitting, wanting to play in this match. So I think that's going to be something very important to watch throughout.
Yeah, I mean, man, yeah, I think the mental fortitude, the stamina of these players will really come out. We will get to see how well do they really perform at a LAN under pressure, under just intense conditions where they've been here for so long. But while we have a little bit of time, while we're waiting for these players to get into the match, let's talk really quickly about the Gauntlet Games. That's right, Shenandoah University is hosting the Gauntlet Games powered by Esports Tower. It's happening February 11th of 2023. All skill level players are welcome. It's going to be great fun, great experience, and great memories. You know, the Gauntlet Games experience powered by Esports Tower provides talented teens 13 to 19 years old an opportunity to come together and showcase their skills in a live LAN tournament. Test yourselves competing live here at Shenandoah University. Level up your skills before the event. You can get training with top-level esports coaches from Esports Tower. So make sure to check out Esports Tower. And if you want to check out the event, make sure to register at esportstower.com/GG. And with that out of the way, we are getting into the Rocket League Finals. Osborne Park versus Woodson. And already pressure at Woodson's goal line here.
Yeah, and something I do want to say about the Gauntlet Games is that we've been hyping up these LAN experiences. This is the opportunity for these players to get these experiences.
Yes.
I mean, as we've seen today, rank doesn't matter, right? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, you're in a team setting, you're in a competitive setting. It's a bit different than playing online solo queue, right? And being able to have these experiences under your belt, getting coaching, getting live coaching, getting these live gaming experiences are just so important for building resumes and improving your career.
I think just improving your play as well. I mean, it really does. Doing well in a LAN environment can be attributed to how many times you've been in a LAN environment. Is that going in? Oh my gosh,
goodness.
What a save.
That was the slowest finesse shot I've ever seen.
Man, that ball was halfway in the goal, but they were able to scoop it out. What a great defense out of Woodson. And yeah, it does seem like both of these teams are playing a bit slow in the beginning here. Gonna be that second person. JM just gonna wait for the ball. Ooh, unfortunate touch by a teammate, but that's okay. Someone's there on the backboard to keep it moving. Now a shot on net, gonna get knocked away a little bit too high anyways.
Yeah, here comes Blue. That's Osborne. You know, they're doing a really good job at, getting these shots on goal. Woodson isn't really getting too many shots. They're playing more defensive. So, yeah.
Oh, yep. There it is. Jussie going to get that first goal for Osborne Park. 2 minutes into the game, though, not quite as fast as we normally see them. And this might be what we were talking about. One, both of these teams are amazing because they were able to get here to the finals, but also they've had some time to just sit around. So they're maybe slower play, the little bit slower goal than we normally expect could be attributed to the fact that they have been sitting around. They've either been practicing on the computers or they've just been having a break. So they're just now getting back into the game.
Yeah.
Excuse me? What just happened there?
Excellent response by Woodson. But yeah, it also really depends on what type of player you are, because some players actually do well if they play a lot and then have like a nice hour, 2 hour break. But some players don't. Some players have to like keep on, have to keep playing. So it really depends on what they were able to do and if they know how strong they are with whatever strategy they choose.
Yeah, and I think going back to that goal that Woodson just scored, this is where we're starting to see some of these maybe fatigue, some mistakes coming out here. That was Osborne Park rebounding the ball off the wall and centering it right for Woodson to score. So, that is something that they have to be careful with. We've seen it before, but just keeping possession of the ball and not setting up your opponent to score on you is like we almost just saw right there. that's something that Osborne Park really needs to keep in mind, and they need to be careful and cognizant of.
Yeah, I think it's great to see from the side of Woodson where both teams are playing the slow, melodical, reactionary gameplay up for that first Osborne goal. And then as soon as that goal was scored, Woodson turned it on. They had an instant offensive approach, and then right after that one, they were able to secure that goal. I mean, as we've seen after, I mean, Woodson has had so many opportunities, including this one, and that converts.
What?
Wow.
The onslaught just hasn't stopped since that first goal by Osborne. They've woken something up in Woodson, and they've just taken control of the tempo since.
They have indeed. And what we have seen a lot is Woodson just sniping out these boosts as well, forcing Osborne to either play without boost, get the small boost, or just struggle and play slower. Proto's going to find that as well. And going up 3-1 against Osborne is Woodson. They are just looking like a beast right now.
Yeah, and, it's important to get points, of course, but I think it's equally as important to be able to not let your opponent get points, right? So, I don't think Osborne is able to play as aggressive as they usually are against the other teams, because Woodson is just doing a really good job at, defending and then also just getting these really skilled shots into the goal from far, from close, from really wherever.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I've been seeing a lot is Woodson's been very sound defensively. I think every shot on goal since Osborne's first goal has had a tender perfectly positioned to block. Like, demonstrated just like that. But for the side of Osborne, I don't think they haven't been here before. We've seen it ourselves. They can score 4 or 5 goals against them in game one, and they won't be phased. They're okay not winning the first match, which is important, especially with something like fatigue. If you're prepared to go the long game, that might be an advantage over Woodson come game 4, game 5, game 6, potentially game 7.
I mean, when we're talking about fatigue and frustration, even these shots by Osborne are right there. They are touching the goal, just not quite able to get it in until we see this. Justy's going to score. 20 seconds remaining, 19 to be exact. 19 seconds remaining. Osborne Park does have an opportunity, and we have seen them get really quick goals in order to tie this up and maybe take us to an overtime in game number 1. But as we were talking about, Woodson's defense has been immaculate so far. The pressure that they put on near their own goal line has been incredible, and it looks like they're going to deny Osborne the opportunity. The ball is on the ground. They're going to need to pop it up in just a second here. It's alive, but it's going straight to Woodson. We see the double commit out of Osborne. No one is there. It's going to touch the ground, and Woodson will take game number 1. As we talked about before, though, this is not a new situation for Osborne. In fact, they could probably lose the first 2 games, and we could say that this is still not a new situation to them, even just here at this tournament. It's what happens afterwards and how well do they take these losses, especially against a team that is much lower seeded than them, that maybe they think that they shouldn't be losing at all to.
Yeah, I think that's important to look at, because as weird as it may sound, Osborne may have not even wanted to try to force overtime right there. It's the first match of a best of 7. It's down by 1 goal with 20 seconds left. Maybe we want to save our surefire goal 10-second play for later in the set.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't want to do it now. Maybe we don't want to try to force because we're still comfortable. So I think it'll be interesting to see if we get a scenario similar to that in the coming games and we see maybe a different approach. Because we did see maybe a lackadaisical double commit at the end to be like, maybe we could shoot it towards the goal, right?
Yeah. Also, that is crazy. They immediately got into game number 2. They said, run it back. So, obviously a lot of energy from both of the players here. They just want to play some Rocket League, and they are getting right into it.
Yeah, definitely. For Woodson, it might be a thing of momentum. They won game 1. They're feeling good. They're feeling like they can do this. They can take the series. They can take the championship. But for Osborne, it might be a thing of, okay, well, we're getting warmed up. We know how you guys are playing. We're going to make sure you keep playing that way, and we're going to play around it just like we did in round 1 of today.
Yeah, and we're just seeing so much more of an offensive play style from both sides here. I mean, we're seeing Osborne just try to get that goal, and if they're missing, they're still mispositioning Woodson. I'm just going to bump into you after my shot. I'm going to move you into deep goal. I'm going to move you out of goal because I want to make my space known. I'm going to demo you. And it's a very different game through a minute and a half than we saw last game.
Yeah, and I do like that both of these teams are playing so aggressive. They're going for these interrupt rotation plays. We do see a miss out of there. Proto trying to make something happen here. Does get a little bit of a pass, but it does get snatched away by Osborne. And they have an opportunity here. The net isn't open, but the double commit out of Woodson keeps them alive just a little bit longer. Proto now going for the flip reset. Doesn't quite get it. But Woodson still keeps possession here, and you got to be careful when it is in the hands of Proto because of this accuracy. Look at that.
Yeah, Proto's just been putting so many close shots on net the past 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, both of these teams are really going blow for blow. Like we see, Osborne shoot on goal, and Woodson, saves, and then we see right after Woodson goes and shoots on Osborne's goal, and Osborne saves that. So pretty back and forth, really back and forth this match.
Absolutely. I mean, again, right? Game 1 is all about feeling out your opponent. I think Game 2 is really adapting to your opponent. What did you learn in Game 1, and how can you use that to your advantage? And I think now that we're 2 minutes, or we're 3 minutes into this game, we have 2 minutes left, these players have shown that they are adapting to each other. They've been playing more to the other's play style. They have been playing aggressive like we've seen out of them, but still cautious enough that no one really has been able to gain an advantage quite yet.
Oh my goodness.
Proto just going to sneak that one right by the Osborne defenders. Let's take another look at this. And great use of this corner right here. Proto, the second man, just in the right place at the right time. No one on that defense quite able to get up there.
Yeah, he crossed him out of his cash when he fours.
Yeah, and I know we've been talking about how safe Osborne is feeling, even in a scenario like this. But looking at it, Woodson has to be feeling good. I think ever since that first goal that was scored against him, the entire match has been in their own tempo. I think these last 3.5 minutes have been determined by how Woodson was playing in the first game, and they're continuing to see success from it, like with that goal previously from Proto and this continued offensive assault.
Yeah, and it looks like they're starting to leave their goal a little bit more open, both sides, that is. Like, look at this. Look, just give him the goal. No, I'm just kidding. But no, but yeah, it is tied up. Osborne is also doing this as well. They just started leaving their goal open, just having all hands on offense, just trying to team pass and get right into the goal. So it's just like, hey, that's a good idea. Let's do it too, but not really working out in their favor at that moment in time.
Yeah, and that's kind of the downside of having this overly aggressive, quick play style. One bad rotation, and you can be seeing yourself with an empty net. And then here's the opposite side, the good side of an offensive strategy like this. We're just going to shove 3 players down your quarter of the map, and
look at that.
You're going to mess up because we'll be there to catch our own rebound.
Yeah, they played so aggressively. Look how forward those rotations were. If that play didn't go their way, if that didn't work out for them, all 3 of those players are just right there at Osborne Park's net, and Osborne Park could have just struck back so hard. But Woodson trusts their team, they trust the communication, and they're willing to go deep for that.
Yeah, who cares if it's a first seed? We're just going to be coming at you with all of this aggro gameplay because we know we can hit it. And then if we don't, we'll hit our own rebound. And if we don't, I'll beat you back to my own goal and I'll block it. Like, Woodson has shown fundamental good gameplay in almost every facet.
Ooh, that was
I mean, we've just been seeing fantastic saves from the side of Proto coming out of nowhere to block it perfectly. And now we already see him on the other side of the map looking to have an offensive play. Like, I don't think I could find any issues besides their aggressive gameplay maybe making them too confident.
Yeah, but we'll have to see. Confidence can be a great boost, but it can also have its own drawbacks. So far, though, I mean, Woodson taking game number 2. The confidence does not have a downside at this point.
Yeah, we're at the magic.
Yeah, we're at the magic
0-2
game 3
for Osborne. So it's really going to be, what do they do now? We had another, like what I wanted to see, where we have that 1 goal deficit with like a minute left. Do we see any of these special plays come out? Again, we didn't see anything for those last 20 seconds to set up a play. It seemed a lot more lackadaisical or more reactionary. Oh, they're doing this. Let's just try to play like this. So I would like to see more of these set plays come out. I know it's harder if there's no kickoff, right?
Yeah.
It's harder to set up a set play if we're still playing at the flow of the game and the ball's over here and they're rotating aggressively. So I really do want to see these set plays come out when the time crunch is hitting. And we're getting there. We're down 0-2.
We are down 0-2. It is a best of 7, so they have at least 2 more games to fix up the game plan, bring out these set plays, really kind of tighten up those rotations, kind of batten down the hatches, make sure that if they are making mistakes, they're not quite as big as they have been in the past. But
and speaking about getting into the lobby immediately, we're back into game 3 already.
They don't take any time. Maybe Osborne Park does need to take a little bit of time to just cool down and figure out what they need to do. You know what? Maybe not. Again, they're coming out swinging. And look at the what I think is really interesting is the spacing out of Osborne Park. They're kind of spaced out in a way that they couldn't necessarily get that 1, 2, 3 rotation that you normally see. It was more of like a coverage in case Woodson stops it. They're just kind of anticipating Woodson will block it. So how do they react when that happens?
Yeah, their rotates are really interesting because the person who's almost always there to make the miraculous save is Proto, right?
Yep.
And then every time they're making the shot on the offensive push, somehow Proto's that first man there. Yeah. This man, he is flying through net to net and somehow is always there at the right time. So whatever rotates they're doing, how they're making Osborne confused, it's working effectively.
Yeah, and right now, the man you were talking about, Proto, just going crazy.
Yeah, and it really just looks like Osborne's trying to keep up rather than trying to slow down, right? Like, they're trying to play the same way that Woodson is, and they're just getting outplayed in this style. So, something's got to switch up eventually. The first 2 games, it's like, okay, we've seen that before.
What?
Yep, there it is.
Wait a second. How this goal is so slow? How on earth? Oh, off the back of Proto. Just a slow, the catches the rotations off, and with that, Osborne does get that first goal. But I will say, every time that Osborne has scored a goal, Woodson has immediately responded.
Yeah, and that's kind of an unfortunate slip up for the side of Woodson. They had both cars back to block a potential turnover, and they thought they were going to keep it going with Proto pushing forward and just barely missed it and had a major turn of possession. But maybe that's just the break that Osborne needs to turn the tide. They're familiar down 0-2, and as Jalen just said, Woodson's coming back.
Woodson is coming back. Just a little bit of, some awkward interactions right there. One player of Osborne Park caught out in the open. Not really doing much, unfortunately. Just kind of a big mistake like that leaves Osborne Park just down a body. And Proto going for the play. He's not going to be able to find it, but the air dribble to the net, he's looking for something flashy.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see, one of them get posterized. But yeah, we see.
I get so worried when we see the ball cross over Osborne Park's net.
Yeah.
Like that, because anything can happen, especially because we've just seen Woodson come out of nowhere and capitalize on those crosses.
Yeah, and on the opposite side, every time that ball gets pushed over to Osborne's side really fast. Oh my goodness, that was
cross.
Nice, yeah.
Nice center, and we are going to see Osborne Park respond in kind. Look at this. Right past 2 of the defenders of Woodson, not able to stop it. And Osborne Park now up 2-1. Like we said, game 3. Maybe this is just what they need to get back Ooh, awkward kickoff. Goal is empty, but thankfully Justy is there, coming right back just in time.
Yeah, I mean, and we're all going to say it. Woodson always comes back strong, so these next 15, 20 seconds are probably going to be really important here. We're seeing them maybe even triple commit potentially. We're definitely seeing double commits on offense because they want to turn the tide and tie this game back up.
Oh, I mean, they may not even get a chance, though. JM, you know, the star player for Osborne Park has been making waves all day. A little bit quiet for these first two games. Finally making an appearance, finally showing up and getting a goal. Osborne Park now 3-1. They can't rest on their laurels just yet, but this is the best opportunity that they've had in this series so far. We're going to see the dribble, and we are going to see a score from Woodson.
Yeah, and that's great response from the side of Woodson. We see the demo. We see the aggressive play. We got the demo. We're going to double commit. We're going to force this down. If my shot misses, you're there right beside me to get the rebound and put it in off the touch.
Yup.
That's great to see.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Osborne Park has the lead, but they cannot rest on their laurels. They have to be so worried. They have to be so cognizant of the push from Woodson, because just like that, the tide can change. And there's still plenty of time left in this game, 1:20. Gonna try to make something happen. Third man is there to keep it alive. Justy there trying to make something happen.
Yeah, and we've seen this against Osborne's first round opponents, right? Like they actually had a sizable lead in game 3. It was like 4-1, I believe the final score was, and they, you know, must be thinking, oh yeah, we'll just do it again. You know, we're seed number 1, right? But looks like they're kind of sleeping on Woodson in this. Oh my goodness, is that going in?
Ankles were broken for a second there. Demo comes out, but the save came out first. And great job on Woodson just to shore up this defense, trying to make something happen. But 30 seconds left. They need a play here. They need a goal in order to bring us to overtime, or at least have another opportunity to keep their streak alive. 15 seconds. Oh, there it is.
That was a crazy play. The team organized play here. We get the bounce off the wall for the double.
Yeah, look at that. That double
beautiful
touch right there. And the teammate waiting in the wings. 14 seconds remaining. We're tied 3-3.
And this is a scenario I want to see Osborne do a play.
Oh, Proto is in the air. You have to be so careful about that. 7 seconds remaining, and it is on Osborne's side. I think this ball will be alive a little bit longer. Woodson trying to keep it alive. Proto with these air dribbles. Oh, the demo comes out. Yeah, I think Osborne Park just needs to drop it.
Oh, I think Woodson is totally fine being in overtime here.
Yes.
I think they have all the momentum in the world.
I think Woodson is fine here, but I also think that Osborne Park needed to drop that ball. They did not need to continue that play just because of how scary and how threatening Woodson was right there in front of their net.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This goal is going to determine the entire set. I'm calling it. If Osborne gets it here, I think the tides have turned. If Woodson holds on, I think we might be looking at a 4-0.
A 4-0 in the finals? That would be crazy.
Insane. Following the first seed as the 18th seed, you know, like seeds, you know, they don't matter too much. But I mean, that's a pretty big gap, you know, whether seeding is a little scuffed or not. But that would be very interesting to see. But yeah, we see Osborne kind of taking control on Woodson's side.
Ooh, the problem is Osborne just doesn't have any boost. They're all looking fairly low. And Woodson, on the other hand, they are boosted up. They have the speed. They have the nitro in order to keep their push alive.
Okay, excellent control from
Good
Woodson.
stop, but it's not enough. Oh no, they're getting bumped around. The demo comes out. Proto just needs to keep this ball up in the air away from Osborne. Does get picked. And we really haven't seen a super team push so far. It's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of hitting the ball to one side and then back to the other. I think once one of these teams really sits down on it, we'll see something crazy happen. So far, Woodson now has an opportunity to attack. It gets close, and it's going to get cleared by Osborne right into the corner, into Proto, who is waiting for it.
Yeah, and I think you've talked about it a lot with the boost economy, not even allowing these teams to fully commit. I mean, Woodson is looking in a good spot now.
Excellent save. Oh, my goodness. That must have been terrifying for Osborne.
Yeah, I think almost everyone for the last 20 seconds has had no boost at all. And here we go, someone with a boost. Kiro tried to take it in. He gets a good touch, and no one's there to cover it. There's just no boost on the field.
You know, it's so interesting because we're used to seeing Woodson do these offensive triple commits, and Kiro has an opportunity, has boost, gets past the defender, and sets it up in front of the net, and no one is there. The demo comes out for the Osborne as, again, can they make something happen? Boost gets picked up, double commit in the air. Osborne Park is there to pick it up. Jussie, there's one defender, can't make a pass, runs out of boost. Again, it's this economy. Gonna pick up the corner boost. Proto's gonna beat the defender. There's a second one.
Oh,
wins out on the 50-50.
Yeah, Osborne is doing such a good job playing on the defense. You know, they've been missing those, you know, or they've either just not been there or they've been making small mistakes and missing the ball for the save. But now it looks like they've got that down packed. You know, it's just getting right back warmed up again.
Now we've just passed 3 minutes 15. JM with the shot. The defender was there, but it wasn't good enough. Proto trying to set it up, doesn't quite get the touch that he was looking for. Sets it up for JM, and there's the defender. Gets the touch, bounces it, and can't stop it though.
Yeah.
With that,
if you're Osborne, you needed JM to wake up there.
Yes.
We were talking about it. In the first match of quarterfinals, we were just watching the JM compilation at the end of it.
Yeah,
right?
yes.
I mean, we saw it a little bit there. JM got his first goal of the match. Started having some really big impact on the play. I mean, I think he had 2 demos right before the 3rd goal. And so I think if anyone was to score that final goal in overtime to start the new wave for Osborne, I think it has to be JM. And that's great to see. I think the tides may have turned.
You think the tides may have turned?
They almost played a whole second game there, right?
They did,
We're
right?
basically on game 5 now.
Yeah. And that just adds to that stamina, that fatigue that we were talking about. Because, yeah, overtime, they practically played a whole nother game, and they're still in this best of 7. So now it is 2-1 still in favor of Woodson, but the tides may be turning here. Osborne, this is what we saw from them last time, where they lose the first 2 games, and then they just keep getting better and better and better the more and the longer these games go on.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that after Osborne's first win, we actually have the slowest transition to the next game. We don't know if that's the side of Woodson taking a breather. Maybe it's because they just played an 8-minute match. We don't know. We'll see how the tides turn.
Yeah, and just like you said, Bear, you know, that's that game 2. Here's a turning point right here. Or I guess game 3 was a turning point with the win for Osborne, putting them on the board. But yeah, like now it seems just like we're seeing what is probably going to be the gameplay for the rest of the series, really. And now it's just about outplaying. Like it seems like.
Wait, wait a second. Hold on. Did we just see Osborne save their own shot?
I believe that is the case.
Oh, no.
And we have seen Osborne almost commit too hard offensively and defensively in the net in previous matches where they know the shot's coming and then they're positioned too deep. And in that case, they didn't think the shot was going to be as good as it was. We were going to be there for the second touch and then actually just block it out of the net.
Oh, that was a very strange interaction, but Woodson playing on the back foot here. A triple commit from the defense. Another shot, a save. They are able to keep this ball alive. They will win out on this 50-50, but I don't know if there's anyone here to really make something happen. Ball does get centered, but they were just playing a little bit too far forward. And we see, right, Osborne out of boost. They're looking for boost. That was a 0% on Anch. So really just trying to make something happen.
Yeah, and Woodson's kind of been in this weird position recently, the last game or so, where they've just let Osborne have their offensive onslaught, and then right after, they just have all of this boost that they've been hoarding and try to take it out into like maybe 3 or so rotations, and now we're seeing it back again where, okay, now we're going to be on the back foot. Let's play safe. Let's try to aim on the defensive side of things while they accumulate more boost to maybe turn the tide, go through, try to get another goal.
Ooh, open net. The defense is there, but there's a second man. Isn't quite able to get it. Third man. There it is.
Just
Jam.
out of absolutely nowhere. Just in the back, like LeBron James, just comes up and just slams it in.
See, but this is unfortunately the issue, right? Woodson has this triple commit on defense, so they're all just bunched up in the same place at the same time. So you have this 1, 2, 3 kind of hit from Osborne, and JM just has that opportunity to tee off of Woodson's defense and able to get Osborne and a goal. I was about to say an early goal, but we're about halfway, so not quite early. But every time that we've seen Osborne get the first goal, Woodson immediately strikes back.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate there for Woodson because I think they do have the right idea. Like, I think they did want to be posturing defensively. I don't think they want to be posturing with 3 in goal, right? That's just too many cooks in the kitchen at that point. But maybe if you have it posturing in front, you don't have that open net goal, right? Or not even open net, just open window to shoot in that net. When you're shooting point blank, you can't react, you can't block, regardless if you have 3 or 5 in the net, if there's even possible, right? So I think it's the right idea to be posturing defensively. I think it's not the right execution. And we're seeing an adjustment here, right? We're seeing them spread out when they are committing 3.
Yeah, and that is what they need to do. They did have a little bit of an aggressive push, but now we're back in the Woodson side of the field here, trying to just make some changes, make some adjustments. A good shot. It does get saved. There's the second man trying to keep it alive. Kiro here going to center it, but no one is there to receive. Actually, Clev is there, going to knock it up, keeping this ball in the air. And this is what we've seen out of Woodson. Their aerial gameplay has been immaculate. It has been amazing, especially when we look at Proto and this air dribble. Oh, we are going to see JM get past Proto. Unfortunately, just a little wide. The shot is still alive. Oh, the defense was good. Third man not able to get to the ball. But look at this. This aggression is still continuing even when Osborne misses, even when it's blocked. They're there. They get the rebound, and they keep pushing forward. They keep putting the pressure onto Woodson.
Yeah, I can't let them get too comfortable shooting on the goal because it looks like they're kind of just missing a lot. So, giving them more chances to be more accurate will only be detrimental to Osborne. So, to keep pushing is probably the play because they've been saving really well too. Like it looks like they have that for the most part down. So, just shooting on their goal, getting that accuracy and precision down to, score 7 in 1 round.
Oh my goodness, JM getting past the defender here, really slowing down the ball, dribbling on the hood, gonna get right over that defender. And Osborne Park, 10 seconds left, they're up 2-0. Maybe that really was the turning point. I'm starting to believe in Bear at this point.
Dude, we're starting to see the JM show. I mean, we saw him, even when he's missing shots, he's flying all the way to that goal. He wants that net, and he will keep pushing until he gets it. And we do see them take that Game 4 victory to make it 2-2. I mean,
2-2.
As we've talked about it, all you got to do now is you're playing a best of 3, right?
Yep, we've reset basically. It's a best of 3 at this point. Oh, I mean, wow. We saw Woodson. They came out strong. They came out swinging. Osborne looking a little lost in those first 2 games, not really having a response. Now Osborne in control of the series. Woodson, especially that game, they were on the back foot the entire time. There was maybe 1 or 2 opportunities that they had to take a shot on net, but for the most part, Osborne was just so relentless in their aggression. They were keeping the ball in the Woodson side of the field. They looked unstoppable.
Yeah, I think even when they were on the downturn, and they were potentially getting pushed in. They were on the defensive side. All of their touches to convert to offense were so effective. I don't know how they were doing it, but they'd get one touch on a block, and then somehow they'd already be potentially threatening a score like a second later on their rotate. I don't know what I want to see from Woodson because I feel like both teams have been playing fantastic. I think Osborne's just turned it on ever since that overtime.
Yeah, and it's like we saw in the round one, like they're just finding these mistakes and just capitalizing on them so well, like just not dropping this advantage.
That's like it's a touch off of a block.
Oh my gosh!
He's scoring from half court. Like JM has just turned it on. He's just another animal right now, and it's crazy.
It is
playing a different game. He's playing pool or something. Like
he's playing Rocket League hoops at this point, going for these threes, half court shots. But yeah, I mean, 15 seconds in, Osborne has a lead, and you know, in the beginning there, oh my gosh, the drop down, the miss. Oh my gosh, Woodson almost let that go. Thankfully, there's a second man to defend there. But Osborne isn't slowing down. They pick up the rebound. They try to go for the pinch, aren't quite able to get it, and they're still pushing forward.
Yeah, but now Woodson with a chance to even the score up, you know, they kind of lost that fire being able to. Oh no.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of lost that fire being able to just put, you know, a score on the board right after getting scored on by Osborne. Like, hey, if you can score, we can score too, but we're not seeing that same energy.
Yeah, in the past, whenever Osborne scored, Woodson would just immediately score back and tie it up, or even score back and then score again. Woodson just hasn't had an answer so far. Whatever changes Osborne Park has made, Woodson has not been able to finish it up. We are going to see a touch out to that third man. Not going to be able to finish it up. And now we see the opportunity, but the 50-50 goes in favor of Osborne. Proto trying to set it up for the team, going off the ceiling. Ooh, dangerous situation. JM there for the save. We see the double commit on the defense, and the ball isn't cleared. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, this is one aspect of gameplay that Osborne just has like down. So I think this is what separates them. This is what makes them the #1 seed is being able to adapt, right? Like they're not letting Woodson do almost anything. Like, you know, it just looks like they're kind of hitting the ball around. They're playing well, but it's like the way Woodson's getting it done, or Osborne, excuse me, is just it's crazy.
Yeah, and we saw it a lot after that first goal by Osborne, where we've talked about this, how Woodson always responds hard and effective after the first goal that they go down. They'll always score back. They'll potentially score another one after. They just go down, then goal, then goal. I mean, we're seeing Osborne play defensively exactly after that first kickoff and those first few possessions because they know Woodson wants to go hard, and they've been playing defensively very effectively.
Oh my gosh. Again, we see Osborne capitalizing on these mistakes over and time again. And they're just small mistakes, right? We just see a Woodson, a little bit of a mispositioning, gets caught in the back of the net, and unfortunately just leads to an open net. And now game 5, where we have Osborne up 3-0 in the series.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have been playing immaculately on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, we're seeing great gameplay from JM. I mean, even Anch has had a perfect shot, right? We're seeing Proto do some crazy stuff, have some great touches, but I think it's the defensive side that we're seeing have a little bit of a disparity in this game, where Osborne acknowledges that Woodson is going to be on an offensive front. We're going to play back. We're going to rotate correctly. I'll be here in goal. You don't come crowd me. We don't need to triple commit. But we're seeing Woodson a little bit slower on maybe the communication or just the response to that communication, and we're seeing empty nets or triple commits, and that's really where Osborne's been capitalizing.
Yes, indeed. We saw Proto trying to make something happen, wasn't really able to get too much, and this is really where we need to see Woodson start working as a team. Proto is absolutely cracked out of his mind for sure, but he needs that second man rotate. Ooh, the dunk was almost there. We are going to see open net. Jussie there, able to get in time, and now Woodson gonna beat out the defender. Osborne up 4-0 now with a little over a minute remaining.
Think they'll make it to 6?
No.
This almost looks exactly like the.
I think it was it game 4 potential? I don't remember which game it was. But yeah, I mean, we're probably going to see if they have a minute left. They could score 4 more at this rate.
No. Oh,
okay. All
Here
right.
we go.
Woodson with the response.
Yeah.
They could score 4.
They
Yeah.
could score 4. Yeah, Woodson answering back. I mean, that was like a 7-second goal there.
Yeah.
Sorry, 13 seconds. My bad.
Yeah, but we still definitely have seen how fast they can put up points on the board. You know, if they can bring this to overtime, I feel like their mental might be getting a little rocked. You know, they probably were watching that opening match of the day and are like, oh no, it's happening to us now. So it's a very scary thing.
And Osborne's not even letting up on the offense.
No way.
gosh.
They are not letting up at all. 5-1. Ansh just going to get that. Right. Look at that. Perfect rotate back into it. Just a little bit of a chip shot. Barely makes it in, but it goes in nonetheless. 48 seconds. We've seen like 3 goals in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, just the offense is just going up. They're just taking points from defense, adding them to
Yeah.
offense.
Oh, yeah, you guys want to see 6 goals here? We'll let them score one, and then we'll score one right after. I think you have to start thinking about next game if you're Woodson. What am
Yeah.
I going to do? I think the tempo of the match is totally different. I don't know if that's Woodson's fault. I don't know if that's Osborne's fault. I think Woodson needs to figure that out and how they want to respond to that. Do we now want to come out even harder and quicker? Do we want to try to force it into this slow melodical play similar to the first game that we were so successful in? I think Woodson should take some time between this match and the next, maybe have a little bit of a self-reflection and think, this is how we want to approach the potential final game,
Yeah.
and see if we can make it our game, win, and then move on to that game 7 that we haven't seen yet.
We have not seen a game 7. It's kind of crazy. We started off this going, oh, this might be a 4-0 in favor of Woodson. And now we're looking at match point for Osborne. It has, and even almost potentially a game 7. The narrative has changed so drastically from the start of this series to where we are now. But I completely agree. I think both teams, but especially Woodson, should take some time, reflect, take a minute. Like you said, they might be getting a little tilted. Their mental might be a little bit boomed. That fatigue is probably setting in at this point. I mean, heck, we're coming to game 6. It's basically game 7 because of that overtime that we played. And they've already been playing so many games earlier in the day as well. It's been a long day. I think just taking a moment to reflect, take a couple deep breaths, calm down, understand that they're still in it, and, you know, maybe they can bring out that magic that they had for games 1 and 2 and bring us to game 7 here.
Yeah, it's exactly like you said, Bear. You know, like in that last minute, it's almost impossible for them to come back at that, right? So, you know, they gotta take that time, that last minute in the gameplay, try something new. Okay, what is their response to this? What's their response to this? Okay, nice. Yeah,
there you
with
go.
that,
That's what Woodson needs.
Yeah, Proto, like we're not going down without a fight. I could do exactly what you're doing, JM.
Look at that. What
that
a
was-
great pass.
Yeah, that was a beautiful goal.
And no one is there. No one is ready for it. And I mean, and like that, Woodson, they take a very early lead, 7 seconds in. We haven't seen Woodson in the driver's seat like this before. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that, like, at a baseline, the good things we've been seeing from Woodson, even when the game has been in a bleaker state, has been communication and doing what they do well, which are these set plays off of the right side, right? We see a lot of these second touches, trying to give a touch to Proto to do some crazy thing while he's floating through midair.
Yeah.
I think they've been doing those well. So if we have a lead and you could play to your strengths of a lot of these organized plays, getting good touches off of this reaction, having Proto do his thing, I mean, I think that's what it was. I think they let JM do his thing for the side of Osborne.
Yep.
I think Woodson just needs to let Proto let it fly. And when he's letting it fly, you're having everyone else come in, right? You're having Clev have some good offensive potential. And so I really think it's going to be the case of the star players here for both teams and seeing how they're going to go.
Wow, that was almost another goal for Woodson. Unfortunately, not able to secure that bag. And now JM has an opportunity. It will get stopped just short. It looks like Proto is trying to make something happen. And I do like what you were talking about, where if you allow Proto and JM to do their things, they will create magic for your team. And I think the last couple of games, Proto's been switching cars, changing around, trying to figure out what works. Oh, that almost didn't go in, but the second man for Osborne Park is there to tie it up.
Look, he actually crossed him.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
And you're letting these players play, and you're getting results from your supporting cast. Like, I think Anch has had potentially 4 goals in the last 5 minutes if we go back to the last game.
Yeah.
Everyone else except JM is performing incredibly well because he is setting up the offense. And what we're seeing here as well, now we're seeing Clev come alive. This is exactly what you're going to see for both sides.
Oh, yeah, we are in for a treat of a match. It is just going back and forth. Everyone is waking up for this.
Yeah, this is awesome. Every player stepping up to the plate, realizing that, Woodson realizing this is game point. This is it. This is, if they lose this, that's it. Second place. They don't walk home with the trophy, and Osborne is trying to make that happen for themselves. Every player playing their best, trying their best to just keep the game going, or stop it if you're Osborne.
Or stop it. Oh, no, we're going to see a little bit of collision. Osborne Park players just running into each other, effectively snubbing out their attack, allowing Woodson a little bit more of a breathing room, more of an opportunity. And Proto, I love the way he sharks these corners, just making it so difficult for Osborne to clear the ball. We're going to get a little bit of a connection there. Woodson does win out on that 50-50, and then Osborne's able to clear it. Now it's in the corner of Woodson. And look at this pile up.
Yeah, just mad airborne, They're just trying to find the perfect opportunity to make these shots in the goal like that one. But nice save. Excellent save.
Yeah, Proto going to get a little bit of touch. Drops it down. Ball is there in the corner. It's going to get knocked away. Ooh, not quite the clear you were looking for. It's still alive. Woodson, they are threatening, but there's no one around, unfortunately. The ball is there. It's near the center, and they're just playing a little bit too far back.
Oh, yeah, I think they're just trying to line up shots too perfectly instead of, chasing the ball. But it seems to be working. Neither sides are being really shot on, honestly. And if Woodson can keep this up, then they can bring this to a Game 7.
Something really interesting to note is how many demos have been happening this game. They've both been just playing faster, which has allowed more demos. Most of these demos have been going in the way of Woodson. They're out for it. They don't want to go down like this, so they are just taking their anger out on Osborne Park's cars. And
oh my gosh, he stuffed that in there.
I was just about to say that Woodson has had so many good looks, but just the most unluckiest touches or unlucky rotation, and we almost saw it there, but Kiero was able to shove it in at the
he's
last
literally
second.
just shoving it in.
We're shaping up for
Is
Game 7.
I was about to say, I don't want to cast or curse it or anything, but it is looking like we might be going to Game 7 here. Just a little over a minute remaining. 3-1 in favor of Woodson, and they are not done yet. They're looking for more.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be fine to cast or curse it, because if that's the case, Osborne's going to somehow score 3 in 50 seconds, and I'm down to see that. But, yeah, this is interesting. Woodson is not letting down. They are still attacking. I mean, we're seeing them Proto go in.
Proto almost getting it a little bit too high. There's a shot just a little wide. Unfortunate for Osborne Park. 30 seconds remaining. Woodson trying to keep control of this ball. JM is in the air. The flip reset? No, not quite. And 20 seconds remaining. This may be all she wrote for game number 6. We might just be going to Game 7. I think we're going to go all the way.
Yeah, I mean, it started with storylines, it's ending with storylines, and what better storyline than to have the match 7 and a best of 7 in the final game for the fall finals. I mean, we've just seen adversity from both sides. Osborne started down 0-2, came back, had match point advantage, couldn't secure it, and now we see Game 7, man. I don't know. I'm excited.
Here we are. Game 7. 3-3, one more. And whoever comes out on top is able to take it. I don't think anyone was expecting a Game 7. This is really where, champions are born. Champions are made here. Lanimals are made here as well. I mean, it has been so long. We've been in the studio for just under 8 hours here. These players have been here just about that same amount of time. It's been a long day. They've been playing Rocket League. They've been practicing. They've been competing. And it all leads up to this moment. Game number 7, Osborne Park versus Woodson High.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see both teams take a bit of a break before they get in, and that's clearly what we're seeing, right? We had a lot of time to talk about the anticipation of this match. We're just casting it. I mean, they're the ones who are living it. They have to play this match. They've been playing all day. Who's going to hold the hardware at the end of the day? Who's going to take all those pictures with everything? I mean, we're seeing Woodson come out strong and get that unlucky touch once again. Oh, we have this good offensive look. We just can't put it in. It's an unlucky bounce. And we're seeing Woodson just stick it in. Proto is going hard here.
Yeah, Proto trying to carry his team to victory, and not really carry because Clev and they're all really doing a lot of work, honestly. So, playing into their team's strengths and covering the weaknesses, that's what it's all about, being a team, right? So, let's just see. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, and Osborne Park starting out quick. Jussie able to get a little bit of a rebound shot. No one on Woodson in the right position to take it.
Yeah, and that's a great mental adjustment for Osborne, right?
Yep.
They see Woodson come out strong for 40 of those 45 seconds, and with that last 5 seconds off of the deflection, turn it upfield, they were able to convert that into the first goal and the lead in this final game.
We are going to see a demo come out as well, but Proto doesn't care, just trying to make something happen. Almost gets it off the pinch. Clev now up to bat as well. And I think this is really where we see the strength of Woodson is their aerial play and their individual play as well. I mean, Proto, of course, we've been talking about him over and over again, but Clev has been making some plays as well. I just think they need to play a little bit tighter. They give themselves a lot of space, which works out defensively very well, but offensively, sometimes it lets some of these open shots go to waste.
Yeah, and I think their strong aerial play has been noticed by the side of Osborne, and we're seeing that top right corner get sharked when Proto is looking to go offensively. So now they've seen Proto shark that corner. Now they're getting sharked defensively because I know you're going to come right here to try to give a good pass to your teammate. I'm not even going to let you get the ball. So I've been seeing great adjustments from Osborne here, and they're really pushing to hold this lead.
They are, but it's going to be difficult. I mean, all series long, we've seen whenever Osborne gets a goal, Woodson is not far behind. And, man, we have been seeing these really far-hitting shots. It's been so back and forth. A double commit out of Osborne. It might have worked in their favor, and it does. JMM will get that second goal, going up 2-0 in the series. We're just about halfway here. I mean, Woodson is down, but they are certainly not out of this game just yet.
Yeah, that is another one unfortunate thing for Woodson, where they had the right look. They just barely missed the ball in the deflection, and it ended up being in a double commit that gave up that goal.
Ooh, a great save from here. And now Jay trying to make something happen. Doesn't get by the defense. There's a second man. The shot is just a little bit too high.
Yeah, Osborne is playing really aggressive, not letting Woodson do anything, just all on the goal. And we see a demo come out. Oh, that's so close. Woodson desperately trying to get on the board. Just over 2 minutes left. They still have time. Again, like I said earlier, it's just as important to make goals. They already nice. There we go, Proto.
Hold on, I gotta watch that back. What on earth?
That thing just rolled in. Just threaded the needle.
Oh, right through 2 of the defenders. Woodson puts their name on the board here.
Excellent. That was a very tricky shot.
Off the kickoff. Just ready, trying to make something happen. We are seeing Woodson now get a little bit aggressive. They know they still have time to play, and they still have the ability to put some pressure onto Osborne.
That's right. They just need 1 more point to make it into overtime. They don't have to push way too hard. There's still 1:30 left.
Oh my gosh, and Proto there snatches it out of the defender. Look at that, trying to get the clear, but Proto's there to stop it.
Proto has just been living in their net the last minute. I mean, you just mentioned trying to reach overtime. I think Proto's trying to end the game.
Proto's camped out in their net right now.
Spawn camping them.
He's spawn camping them. Yeah, 1:20 remaining. There is a great demo. Onch just going to clear it. Gives their team a little bit more time to just regroup, get some boost, and come back. JM going for it. Gets snuffed out, doesn't win that 50-50. Onch setting up for the team. The defense.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, we're down to a sub-minute left in the 7-game series. Tied 2-2. I think both of these teams do not want to go to overtime.
No.
I think they both want to end it now and not have to go down to a golden goal.
Oh, they have to be so careful here. Jussie making it back just in time, and Clev's going to thread the needle.
There.
Woodson now up by 1. Off the wall, right over 1 defender, past the second, 34 seconds remaining. Osborne needs to make something happen. They need to keep themselves alive in this series. This is game 7.
Now, we have seen both of these teams make really fast goals off of the kickoff. If it ties up again, I'm sure one team will get another point just that quickly. But
the pass,
oh my
the
goodness,
shot,
oh my goodness. JMM just right there to just slam it right back in. Again, like I was saying, we've seen really fast goals off of kickoff. 17 seconds left on the clock. Can one of these teams do it? Again, like you were saying, Alexander, neither of these teams want to go to overtime. So let's see who's going to step up, who's going to carry their team back to victory.
Osborne wins on the kickoff. Kiro trying to make something happen here. Gets the ball down. Onch there trying to make the pass. Isn't able to get the touch. 3 seconds remaining. I think Woodson's going to keep it alive here. No, it's going to get dropped. We're into overtime.
Oh,
Overtime in
baby.
game 7.
It is golden goal. Whoever gets this next goal will take home this series. I couldn't ask for a better script. Whoever's writing this, chef's kiss.
Yeah, who wants a game 7 when you can get a game 7 ending in overtime?
With 3 points on the board by each team. See that ball airborne.
Yeah, and we just see JM just tracking that ball. Great save from Proto. Onch there, gonna get a touch.
Both teams slowing it down just a little bit.
The pinch right in front of the net.
Clev with the save. And we see Proto.
Yeah, every time Woodson gets a touch, it just gets sent back their way. Oh, the angle.
Clev there again. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is
It's intense. Jussie's going to get a touch. There is a defender here. Will get another touch. Isn't able to get past 1. And
trying to play so strategic instead of just fast and, just very burst-like. Just trying to play more strategic and tricky.
Ooh, Clev, like you said, trying to play a little tricky.
Give the ball
The
to
center.
Proto.
Oh, Proto gets it. And with that, Woodson is able to clutch out 4-3 is the final scoreline, as well as the set count. 4-3. Woodson able to beat out the #1 seed, but just barely.
Dude, that was a friendship goal right there. Don't just give it a Proto, give it a both of them.
Yeah, I mean,
they held hands as they shoved that thing in.
Yeah, they were playing Kingdom Hearts for a minute. They were like,
The power of friendship.
The power of friendship. Yeah, that was the play that would have made or broke that. That was a double commit after a pass. There was no one left to defend Woodson's goal if they didn't make it or if it got blocked.
Yeah, I mean, Proto woke that team up after they went down.
Yep.
Brought them back. Everyone else supported him. Played superbly. I mean, even when Proto wasn't scoring, he was setting up all of his teammates to score.
Yep.
And when in doubt, when you need that final goal, when the 18th seed needs to beat the first seed in overtime in Game 7, who do you give it to? You give it to Proto.
You give it to Proto. I mean, what I really love is we talk so much about Proto on the side of Woodson, but every member of the team, Kiro, Clev, started waking up, started making things happen, and we just saw everyone involved. And we saw the same thing happen on the side of Osborne as well. We talked a lot about JM, but, it's more than just him. It was the other members as well,
Yeah.
Wow. What an incredible day. What an incredible series. A huge congratulations to our Rocket League champions. That's Woodson High. I mean, I hope we see both Woodson and Osborne next year. This might be the start of a beautiful rivalry.
Yeah, throw a Freedom High team in there as well. They might as well go for the clean sweep next year. Congratulations to them for sweeping League of Legends and Smash once again. Congratulations to Woodson. Right?
Yeah.
It's been a great fall finals.
Oh
man.
my gosh, it's been amazing. Huge shout out to PlayVS and VHSL. What an incredible fall 2022 championship. I mean, we've just seen the best of the best in the Virginia area, and man, I can't wait for the spring. I can't wait for the fall again. There's so much. I, of course, have been Alexander T. Kresek. Joining me is Jalen and Nikita. And with that, we're wishing you the great rest of your day, night, morning, what have you. We'll see you next time. Have a good day, guys.